All right, team. How's everybody doing? Another good week down. Way to stay consistent. I just wanted to do a weekly roundup to kind of talk about this week, what we achieved, and kind of how the programming works. We have 10 elements of fitness we're always trying to accomplish. So flexibility, stamina, endurance, strength, power, speed, agility, balance, accuracy, and coordination. So a good program will hit all 10 of those elements. If you're missing any of those, then you're going to kind of have some holes in your fitness. If you haven't noticed, our programming is always constantly varied. That's so we can hit all 10 of those elements. And the intensity is usually pretty high, with the exception of 1 or 2 days is more low intensity, kind of a longer workout to hit that endurance and recovery system. So I'm going to go kind of day by day and talk about what we hit. So Monday we had the pistols and handstand push-ups. What we got there is a lot of strength work. I mean, squatting on one leg is going to develop a lot of strength, and handstand push-ups, that's a lot of strength work for the shoulders. Balance for both of those movements required a lot of balance, and flexibility also for both of those movements. Whenever you're in a handstand, that requires a lot of shoulder flexibility. The pistol requires a lot of ankle mobility and T-spine mobility. Endurance, that's probably for more of the beginners. I actually noticed myself, my heart rate got up a little bit, so we're actually working a little bit of endurance there. Moving on to Tuesday, we had Annie, so the jump rope and the sit-ups or the Russian twist. That can be both endurance or stamina, kind of depending on how fast you push that pace. We got some core work, obviously with the Russian twist, or if you did sit-ups, that's going to work the midline. Some leg endurance, once again, mostly for beginners. You probably work the legs a lot harder than someone who's been doing it a long time. There is some agility anytime you're jumping rope. We're working on agility and coordination, so we knocked out those 2 elements as well. Moving on to Wednesday, so this is a great one. We had that 10-minute squat challenge. I know it sucked, but it's actually a really good test to do every so often. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at squatting anyways. So with that test alone, we achieved a lot of flexibility, balance, and also strength. If you're really stiff in the squat, like I said, keep doing that 10-minute test. That makes a big difference on your squat. And then part B, we got into some burpee broad jumps and some jump lunges, so a lot of jumping today. So with the jumping alone, we start to hit the power. So explosiveness, we build the power. Strength, with jump lunges, that's a little more intense than regular alternating lunges, so you build some leg strength. Stamina and endurance, once again, this is a fairly short workout, 10 minutes. If you're able to push the pace, you're probably going to work a little more stamina. If you kind of mellow it out on the pace, you work a little more endurance there. A lot of balance with both the jump lunge, especially the jump lunge, but even the broad jump burpee requires a lot of balance. Agility as well, you got to be soft on your feet. Speed, so the quickness on the jump lunge, the quick transitions, and coordination. Once again, the jump lunge requires a lot of coordination. So that workout alone almost hit all 10 elements of fitness. Moving into Thursday, we hit a strength day finally. So our heart and our lungs got a little bit of a break, and we worked on some strength. We had the handstand hold, the slow broomstick overhead squat hold, and the L sit. So a lot of strength work for the midline and shoulders. Balance also, all 3 of those required a lot of balance. That slow overhead squat was great to improve your overhead squat, which improves the rest of your squats. Flexibility, also on the handstand hold, we're opening up the shoulders like I always talked about in Monday's workout. Also, that slow overhead squat opens up the entire system. Shoulders, T-spine, hips, knees, ankles. So that was great for flexibility. Vestibular system, so that's kind of the crystals in your ear that helps with balance, keeps you from getting dizzy. It kind of lets your mind know where your body is at in space. We kind of lose that as we get older because we stop spinning, we stop flipping upside down. That's why kids can spin and spin and spin and they never get dizzy. So it's good for us as we get older to continue to spin around and flip upside down, so we keep that system up to par. There was some muscle endurance, so holding those static holds, you're going to develop some muscle endurance as well. Moving on to Friday, so we had the Sally Up Challenge. We had squats and push-ups. So right off the bat, there's strength work. Anytime you're holding those static positions for a long amount of time, you're going to develop some strength, a lot of balance, more so in the squat. You had to work the balance, sustained position, muscle endurance, you're working. Beginners, maybe your heart rate got up a little bit, probably on the squats, so that's good there. And once again, anytime we're in static position, you're going to improve flexibility. Saturday, so we finally got into an endurance day. This is probably our longest workout if you include the rest. It was probably about 20 minutes or so. So the 2 mile time should have been around 7 or 8 minutes if you scale properly. So we're working our endurance. Muscle endurance, probably more so for the legs. Strength, lower body, legs, you're going to build some strength on the runs. This is working our recovery system, so you had 5 minutes of rest. Which is good to see how your body's recovering. If you paced it right, you should have recovered and been able to hit a pretty close time on that 2nd mile. Pacing and breathing and slowing is a skill. Running is the best place to learn both of those because you don't have to think about so much. You can kind of just settle into a pace and work on those. So, good week. Knocked out majority of these 10 elements. Intensity was there. Constantly varied movements were there. For Sunday, those of you who were very consistent, you hit 4, 5, 6 days this week. I want you guys to rest, restore, and recover. Relax. Get lots of mobility work in. If you have a foam roller, roll out the whole system. If you missed a few days, maybe you only got 2 days or 3 days, use this day as a makeup day. So take advantage of it and pick one of these days that you missed. If you kind of missed some strength days, get one of the strength days in. If you missed the endurance day, get the endurance day. And starting Monday, we'll do it all over again. You guys keep up the good work. You guys are looking good.